Play that. Hip-hop and R&B.
Right here.
Are you a creative or business looking to increase subscribers and or client base? Hitting Hard Radio is a platform for you. Take advantage of our March Madness sale. Get 60 30-second commercials for $200. Advertise your brand for all your advertising needs. Make sure you get with the pulse of the city and hittinghardradio.com. For more information or to get involved, please call 414-502-7808. 414-502-7808.
Milwaukee, on February 15th, 2022, your vote and voice was unlawfully suppressed. 99,673 votes were cast for me by you, Milwaukee, and both the local and national reputable media conglomerates publicized this fact. The law is clear. The will of the people must be adhered to. However, a manufactured man-made mockery of the actual votes have occurred. Due to the corruption of those acting under the color of law, you all have been and are being wrongfully led to believe that Cavalier Johnson advanced. This is not a legally accurate depiction of events as they have actually occurred. As I am adamantly fighting for justice on all levels, federal, state, and local, to have all those who participated in this scandalous voter dilution, also known as election fraud, to be held accountable, you, Milwaukee, should know that all is not lost. Things are not what they seem to appear, as the media has attempted to portray that only 2 men are candidates in this race for mayor of the city of Milwaukee. I am very much still in this April 5th, 2022 race for mayor of the city of Milwaukee. I have been repeatedly subjected to discriminatory acts each time I have ran for public office in the past, as I am being discriminated against now. When I first ran for mayor, it was against the corrupt administration.
All right. We back. Apologize, y'all. We got a spirit or something in here. I don't know. The power went out. Then pictures start falling off the wall. I don't know what's going on, but we back, so we're going to pick back up and get right back to it. Welcome to the Morning Shift MKE. Let's go.
The Milwaukee Election Commission wrongfully and unlawfully denied me such placement. When I ran in the 10th Assembly District, votes were literally flipped, just as they have been in this 2022 mayoral race. I placed second on the February 15, 2022 ballot draw, and it's a century-old scientific fact that ballot placement matters. It should be noted that Cavalier Johnson ballot placement was literally last. Please do not be led astray into thinking everything is done orderly and in compliance with the law at the Milwaukee Election Commission. The Milwaukee Election Commission office has a history of bad record keeping, and there has been on many occasions more votes cast than records kept of number of voters. This is sufficient evidence of intent to deceive the public. Had there been, on February 15, 2022, an excess amount of votes, there is in place a specific law that was supposed to be enacted and adhered to, and this law did not occur on February 15, 2022. Milwaukee, on February 15, 2022, you spoke loud and clear. I am fighting to make sure your vote and your voice will be heard. However, in the meantime, on April 5th, 2022, you can make your voice clearly heard again by writing or pasting my name, Aisha Griffin, in for the win, again. Paid for by Aisha Griffin's Cleaning Up Corruption Committee. Aisha Griffin, Treasurer.
On April 5th, write in Aisha Griffin for the win, again. The Morning Shift MKE, uncut. 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. right here on hittinghardradio.com. Real topics, real news you can use, you dig? You can also catch us at the Post of the City page on Meta or Facebook or hittinghardradio.com.
Pitch control.
The Morning Shift MKE uncut on hittinghardradio.com.
Like, for real, hurry up.
Can you repeat that?
Yeah, the Colombians got this great fish scale sale going on right now. I need to buy about 4 keys. You got some money?
First, have you been in business for at least 6 months?
Man, I've been trapping all day. Hello? Okay, they hung up.
silly around with
So how safe is Milwaukee, Wisconsin? Let's take a look. Milwaukee has a population of 598,000 and a livability ranking of 61, which is considered below average. Amenities and cost of living rate well, but everything else rates poorly.
Hey, right quick, what y'all be thinking about these? You know, it's a lot of these little videos about Milwaukee, about Wisconsin being the 10 worst places to live, this, that, or whatever. What y'all think about that, man? Do they be getting it right? Is they on point with it? Or is they just, man, poking jokes and shit at us?
Schools rank an F, and when schools are rated an F, crime is almost always an F as well. Milwaukee is ranked the 685th best city in Wisconsin and 21,469th in the United States, ranking better than 26% of all other areas. Crime in Milwaukee is 139% higher than that of Wisconsin and 84% higher than the U.S. average. Crime in Milwaukee is high across the board, with violent crime rating 312% higher than the national average. Using the most recent data released from the FBI, you can see Milwaukee's numbers are considerably higher than that of Wisconsin, which as a state is lower across the board than the national numbers. The murder rate of 32.4 is slightly higher than Washington, D.C. On this map, Milwaukee is the green marker with its F crime rating, and the red markers represent nearby cities with an A+ crime rating. Your odds of becoming a victim of a violent crime in Milwaukee are 1 in 63, of a property crime 1 in 37, and overall of any crime 1 in 24. The state of Wisconsin has 456 sex offenders for every 100,000 people, which is 71% higher than the national average. Compared to cities of similar size, Milwaukee rates second only to Baltimore on this list in violent crime and near the bottom in property crime and total crime. So how safe is Milwaukee? Well, all of Wisconsin is safer, and 96% of America is safer. Support this channel and pick yourself up some original crime-related apparel. Look for the link in the description.
What y'all think about that, man? They say everywhere is safer in this video. Everywhere is safer. All of Wisconsin is safer than just Milwaukee. What y'all think about that? What we got here? My audio go.
The 4 U.S. Marines killed in a NATO exercise on Friday night have now been identified. One of them is from Indiana and another is from Kentucky. They are 24-year-old Marine Corporal Jacob Moore of Catlettsburg, Kentucky, that's in Boyd County, and 27-year-old Captain Matthew Tomkowitz of Fort Wayne, Indiana. The aircraft they were on during an exercise went down in a Norwegian town in the Arctic Circle. The cause of the crash is under investigation, but Norwegian police reported bad weather in the area at that time. The exercise is unrelated to Russia's war in Ukraine.
Ghost, y'all. This is a neo-Nazi music festival.
Every year in December, hundreds of neo-Nazis flock to attend an annual White Power music festival in Ukraine. Over the course of a weekend in Kiev.
Hold on, these next few videos is gonna give a little focus on Ukraine. Just some little things to remind us about Ukraine. I mean, we can get them people need help, and that's cool, help them, but man, we need help too, you know. And the same hand wasn't extended to us. Like it's a big thing, and we're gonna get off into that more in future shows to come. I have a guest I had coming in that has a theory of why all the aid is given to the more European countries and not like Haiti and Puerto Rico and other places that had big disasters or wars or whatever. I mean, think about it. Haiti just had their whole president killed. We ain't got no whole bunch of Haitians over here, do we?
More than a dozen bands take to the stage, spewing hate-filled, anti-Semitic lyrics, praising Nazi figures, and calling for violence. Among the crowd, white supremacist imagery, from Celtic crosses to swastikas and black suns, are displayed on t-shirts and tattoos. They've become a vital recruiting ground for hardcore extremist groups and a major income stream. In Germany alone, far-right concerts were estimated to have generated 1.4 million euros in 2018, money used to finance political material, organize events, or cover legal fees for extremists who fall foul of the law. Now, as the scene recovers from the pandemic, experts worry that the return of these concerts will give a major boost to Europe's far right. My name's Tim Hume, and I cover the far right for Vice World News. Outside Ukraine, dozens of similar events have sprung up. From major neo-Nazi festivals that draw extremists from across the continent to smaller underground gigs that act as a vital social hub for local far-right networks. There's Pro Patria in Greece, known for its MMA fights, Hot Shower in Italy, a grim reference to Hitler's gas chambers, and Rock gegen Überfremdung, or Rock Against Foreign Infiltration, attended by some of Europe's most hardcore extremists. Just like mainstream political parties meet up at dinners and speakers events, Europe's far right are using these festivals as a key networking tool, with members of different stripes looking to learn from each other and potentially plot further action.
So you can meet like-minded people, you can establish connections to other persons from the scene, and you can mobilize people who are not involved in like the organized structures of the scene.
Most of these festivals take place outside public view, with cameras and cell phones banned inside.
They function as spaces in which Nazis can live out their ideology. So these are spaces where they can feel safe amongst their own, they can show the Hitler salute, which is illegal in Germany, and they can loudly voice their hateful ideology.
The music played is generally heavy rock music with neo-Nazi themes.
There's a lot of glorifying National Socialism, a lot of white supremacy.
But it's more than just a bunch of neo-Nazis getting together to make friends and have a good time.
Die einzige Möglichkeit, die wir haben, Strukturen aufzubauen, ist der kommerzielle Erfolg.
It's estimated that these festivals can bring in up to 200,000 euros, money which is then funneled back into the neo-Nazi scene.
This money goes straight back into far-right structures within Germany and beyond. So this also means training, support, logistics. All of this money is going from the far-right rock scene directly back into the organised far-right.
And aside from the cash, it's about recruitment and organisation.
I would say this is mostly the radicalised core of the far-right scene. If you look at videos and photos and people who is going to these events, these are people predominantly with openly far-right tattoos. These are people who have swastikas tattooed on them.
If you look at the audience or the visitors of these festivals, you will see very, very, very few young people. So its function is not to recruit young people. What is happening is that you can try to recruit new members for your organization, like Blood and Honor or like the Hammerskins.
Beyond the far-right rock scene, some extremists have branched into new genres to try and generate a wider audience. Far-right rap music has emerged, with rappers like Max Damage, a German neo-Nazi who's been interviewed on mainstream German radio.
Ich will einmal Vater werden und kämpfe damit meine Kinder nicht in einem ihnen fremden Land erwachsen werden.
Chris Aries, who managed to enter the iTunes chart with tracks referencing racist concepts like The Great Replacement. And Mr. Bombs, a mysterious figure who emerged in 2016, posting racist hip-hop covers in online forums, developing a cult following.
Mr. Bond is a separate entity, a different phenomenon. He has a more international fan base based online. He has support, for example, within the incel community or in image boards. Mr. Bond is essentially like a far-right Weird Al Yankovic, more of a parody artist that takes well-known pop songs and then subverts them with a horrible far-right message full of hatred.
All right, I just needed really to use that to load this other video up, man. I had to get official, I guess, a little news media what happened with the baby that came up missing or whatnot. So let's jump right into that and get you. The story was so unclear. Like, that's why when them things going on, man, I try to stay out of the comment sections. You know, it's hard to, but man, there be so many Facebook detectives in there with all these different stories and different theories. You know what I mean? You depending on when you come in on the live and get in the comments, you might be way off or whatever. But they found the little baby, they found the little girl. I guess it's some more people possibly involved. But let's get to the story.
It was just crazy. Like, why would you take my baby when I'm sleeping?
A Milwaukee mother speaks out after her baby goes missing and an Amber Alert is issued. Good evening. That's our big story tonight at 5. No good deed goes unpunished. The mother of a baby boy abducted from his home yesterday says she was actually trying to help the teens who are now accused of taking the child.
She says the suspects actually lied to her and told her they were victims of trafficking. Fox 6's Angelica Sanchez spoke with that little boy's mom, who says she is grateful her son is back home safe.
That's right. The boy's mom says that she is grateful for the community support and for the work of the Milwaukee Police Department to bring her little boy home. As mentioned, 2 teen girls have been arrested in this case. The little boy's mom tells me she was just trying to help them.
That's fucked up, right?
Only thing I can do right now is thank God that they found my baby.
The mother of a 3-month-old baby abducted in Milwaukee Tuesday is speaking out. We are honoring her wishes to keep her identity private.
Like, I'm really thanking the community because I see it was a lot of people out here.
The 35-year-old opened up to Fox 6 on how her act of kindness took a dark turn.
They basically lied to me like they was being trafficked and said that they was being molested.
She says she met 2 teen girls at a nearby store. She says the girls told her they were victims of trafficking and needed help.
I offered for them to come to my house until they was able to find somewhere to go. And I also said if they didn't have a ride, that I was willing to call either like a Uber or a Lyft for them to get to where they gotta go. And you know, it got a little late. I ended up dozing off, and when I dozed off, my baby was gone. They was.
Hey, that's, you know, man, I understand the helpful spirit, and I'll never take that from nobody. But you gotta be damn careful. And you damn sure got to be careful taking people back to your house and falling asleep. It was so many other ways that could have been handled. You could have, man, called the police right away to come get them, took them to you know, anything. I don't know, but, you know, I understand, man. We, especially in this time and age and all that sex trafficking and abducting and all these goofy ass shit going on, and it just had people trying to help, but you got to remember, too, man, sometimes the same very people you trying to help might be in on it. You know what I mean?
And my doors was unlocked.
An Amber Alert was sent out. Police say 2 girls ages 14 and 16 have been arrested in connection with the 3-month-old's abduction. Their arrests happened near 44th and Febrance. This is also where the baby was found safe and unharmed.
It was just crazy. Like, why would you take my baby when I'm asleep? They could have took my cell phone. They could have took the games, the computers, tablets, anything. But y'all took my baby. Like, why?
She has many questions into the motives of the teen girls. For now, she is grateful her son is back in her arms, where he belongs.
Just got my baby home. I love my baby so much.
Police say they arrested 3 other men throughout this investigation, but it's for unrelated charges. Milwaukee police say charges against the teen girls are expected in the coming days. Reporting live outside Milwaukee Police Headquarters, Angelica Sanchez, Fox 6 News.
Thank goodness that baby's all right. All right, Angie, thanks for the update.
Now, I know my man Vaughn in Comforce was a part of helping find the baby, so I'm going to have to hit that brother up, man, and see what all that was about and how that was with them actually finding the baby and getting it back. It all got done pretty quickly, man. Shout out to everybody who participated and came together, shared, posts, whatever.
What the haters talking about?
And this here we're gonna go back to Ukraine a little bit, y'all, and what's going on with the black folks over there, or if the black folks want to go over there and provide some assistance.
What's up, family? If you are black and thinking about volunteering to help the people of Ukraine, you better be real careful. The Peace Corps website has explained that black people are likely to face blatant and possible dangerous racism from Ukraine.
Now, y'all hear that? This is on the Peace Corps website. They need volunteers. They need people to come help. But they giving you fair warning that if you black and you bring your ass over here to help, we don't give a fuck about you niggas. We gonna call you niggas, and we gonna treat you like niggas. Now get over here and help, nigga.
Refugees. On their website, they stated, people of color face many challenges living in Ukraine as a Peace Corps volunteer. However, African Americans will confront far more complicated issues. For modern parts of Ukraine, African Americans are part of the community and day-to-day life. However, there are many Ukrainians who have never seen a black person before. Their understanding of African American culture is fueled by the media and African stereotypes. You will generate lots of interest and curious stares. It is not uncommon for Ukrainians to refer to African Americans as N-word. Volunteers of color may be called a monkey or may see children's games with blackface.
Now, you come over there and volunteer. Somebody could possibly walk up to you and say, "Give me a bottle of water, monkey." Man, what the fuck kind of shit is
Being aware
that?
of the history of dehumanization for people of African descent may help inform where this comes from. It does not justify it. Who's really surprised? Just as in America, Russia, and many other parts of the world, Ukraine has a strong constituency of neo-Nazis. These are uncivilized mutts. who
That's right.
believe
They the mutts.
that black people are beneath them. Very, very racist and radical. Every January, Ukraine observes a national holiday that celebrates their temporary collaboration with the Third Reich regime, who sought to exterminate Afro-Germans under Nuremberg's law through chemical castration and sterilization. Y'all still waving the flag?
Still want to help?
Help? Still want to give them your money? I'm not buying the whole many Ukrainians have never seen an African American in person before, so that's the reason for some of their behavior. No, I'm not buying it at all. They behave the way they behave because they're uncivilized. They don't have any common decency, period. It starts at home with their mammies and pappies, their grandpappies and grandmammies, and so on and so on and so on. They had no common decency. It's as simple as that. And you know how I know that's the case? I used to live in Azerbaijan, the city of Baku, 4 million people. It's on the Caspian Sea in Eurasia. When I got there, I understood the gazes and stuff like that because people were just, whoa, they was blown away. They'd never seen a black person in person before. They had never seen that before. So they was like, the gazes was crazy. Sometimes it was get on your nerves, but those people never once hurled a racial slur in my direction or my family's direction. None of that racist shit that you see in America. None of that. None of that racist shit you see in Ukraine. None of that. You know why? Because the people of Azerbaijan is fundamentally decent people. And they get it from their mamas and daddies, their grandmamas and their granddaddies, and
Educated
so on and
behavior, learned behavior.
They're fundamentally
just like racism.
Good people. See? But if you got a government that spew that type of behavior, you got government officials like you got in America and Ukraine and Russia. If you got those type of people in office, then it trickles down, you see, because leadership starts at the top. So in America, you got a bunch of racist politicians, liberal and conservative. Don't get it twisted. I would dare say at least 90% of all Democrats are just as racist as the Republicans.
Facts.
That's right. They're only fighting the Republicans for power and money. They don't give a damn about you or me. They're fighting for money and power. That's it.
Better recognize.
The other part, I do believe, the part about the media, the stereotypes, that come from America. America put a hit job on black people. They put a hit job on our image. Why would they do that? So they could justify the mistreatment of black people. So everybody can believe that, oh man, they savages, man. I guess they deserve it. That's where it come from. America did that. America made them believe that.
Hey, that's why they put all that shit in the news. That's why they paint them pictures, only show the negative and all that. Because it do that, man. It put in the minds of the person watching, man, they deserve it. Like, so what? They had it coming. You know what I mean? When you feel like a motherfucker don't deserve nothing better, when they going through the worst, you don't give a shit.
It is absolutely mind-boggling, fam, how some of us just rush, quick to rush. Go here, send condolences, money and all. Absolutely. You know what? It's not even mind-boggling. It's pathetic. That's right. It's pathetic. All I'm saying, fam, is give me the same energy. Have the same energy. If y'all really care about human beings suffering, if it's all about just human beings suffering, where's that same energy for black people? Let's start right here in America.
They'll never answer that question.
Let's start right here. You know, charity starts at home. I don't want to hear nothing about going over there giving them people money. Nothing.
Nothing. Willie a fool, ain't the old Willie D.
These are people who hate our guts. Now, I can understand why some people want to go over there and give them something, you know, because they're an extension of them. You know, I get it. I get it. But black people specifically and other people, they don't like y'all. It don't matter. They don't like you. They don't even like white Americans. But they'll take their money.
They don't like nobody.
Yeah. They got a problem. See, man, you got to get out of America. You got to move around a little bit so you can see what people really think. You can really listen to conversations. You know, you got to move around. You can't just be sitting up here getting programmed by America, because most people that live in America, all they know is American programming. They can't even fathom. They can't fathom something different.
Hey, here go a thought for y'all, right? What he said, you got to get out, move around, visit the country, see what people thinking, right? Find out other schools of thoughts, other whatever. Now, who's somebody that's been moving around like that? Kanye West, $1 billion man, right? He all over, we're all over this country, right? And they trying to make everybody think he crazy as fuck. You know what I mean? But why you gotta be crazy? Maybe just all that traveling and communicating with other people just got his eye wide open.
They don't even know what like free journalism sound like, because everything is programmed in America. listening to this Willie D Live is about the closest you're going to get to free journalism. Some other cats out there that's doing it like that, they free with it, not all.
Yeah, we is news you can use, like Willie.
TI is, with no hidden agendas. They're going to ride for the people for real. But you catch my drift, fam.
No doubt.
This media in America is programmed. Totally. I tell y'all what my mama said one day about the news. I was watching the news one day. I think I may have shared this story already, but I don't have time for it right now. Anyway, fam, what say you? Will you be donating to the Ukraine National Live Life Longer Fund?
Nope, I won't.
I think I might just volunteer. Perhaps they'll put me in charge of the water supply. And food. Maybe they'll let me prep. No more talk.
What the haters talking about?
Now, we ain't leaving up out of Ukraine yet, y'all. We gonna stay over in Ukraine for a minute, because I just happen to have some more information on Ukraine and some of the things they got going on over there. This next video, we're gonna get inside a white supremacist militia in Ukraine.
It seemed like an odd way to spend a Saturday, watching the blood sports at a festival for far-right extremists. This was the summer of 2019, and I'd gone to Ukraine to learn more about these groups. From the crowds, one thing seemed pretty clear about them. They weren't bothered by the fact that this event was organized by the Azov movement, a far-right group that has increasingly been linked to violence around the world.
The shooter is linked to a 74-page manifesto filled with white supremacist rhetoric.
FBI agents say he expressed a desire to travel to Ukraine to fight with a far-right paramilitary group.
At least one member of an American hate group also trained in Ukraine with Azov Battalion.
According to the FBI, domestic terrorists killed 39 people in fiscal year 2019, making it the most deadly year for domestic terrorism since the 1995 Oklahoma City bombing.
The threat of white nationalism has evolved since Oklahoma City, where a domestic terrorist used a truck bomb to kill at least 168 people. Police don't tend to see such terrorists as lone wolves acting in isolation anymore. It's become clear to law enforcement that these attackers often have links to a global network, one with common goals and a shared ideology.
We are looking very hard at white supremacists or neo-Nazis here, connecting through social media online with like-minded individuals overseas, and in some cases actually traveling overseas to train.
Over the last few years, experts in violent extremism have grown especially alarmed about the Azov movement. The group emerged from the revolution that swept across Ukraine in 2014, and it has gotten a lot stronger amid the ongoing war with pro-Russian forces in eastern Ukraine. The fighting in that region has become kind of ideal breeding ground for militias like Azov. At their public events, one thing that surprised me was how many Ukrainians tend to see Azov not as militants or extremists, but as war heroes. In Kiev, the capital, I watched an Independence Day parade where veterans of the Azov Battalion marched alongside other volunteer militias, surrounded by cheering crowds, who thanked them for defending Ukraine against Russia. But even at the march, there were signs of the far-right ideology that's so common inside Azov. The symbols on their flags have been especially controversial. Azov says it combines the letters I and N for idea of nation, but extremism experts see it as an emblem of Nazism.
The official symbol of Azov, it's a version of Wolfsangel. It was one of the symbols of one of SS division during the World War II. It is one of more or less usual symbols for neo-Nazi groups all over the world.
And it's not just about their symbols. When it was founded in 2014, Azov drew many of its commanders and recruits from Ukraine's most notorious far-right groups, including outright neo-Nazis.
We basically recruited everyone who could hold weapons in their hand when Ukrainian state was paralyzed and the defense of Ukrainian state was totally in the hand of Ukrainian volunteers. So there were many war adventurers, guys who believed that they are on a kind of ideological tour to save maybe the future of the West and so on and so forth.
So the future of the white race?
Or, yes, yes.
Azov's paramilitary wing is now a major fighting force, with its own bases and training grounds near the front lines of the war against pro-Russian forces. After the Veterans Parade in Kyiv, I interviewed Andrei Biletsky, who founded the Azov movement in 2014.
Воинское братство – это люди, которые не просто служили вместе, вместе проливали кровь, переживали гибель товарищей, сладость побед, охраны общественного порядка на улице. Мы создаем отряды самообороны, которые помогают поддерживать порядок на улицах.
Azov's leaders have also tried to break into politics. They failed to win any seats in parliament during the most recent elections in 2019, but their plans in Ukraine are ambitious.
Сьогодні ми відпочиваємо, але навіть відпочиваючи, ми пропагуємо наші нові українські цінності. Бути сильними і сміливими, бути єдиними і відчувати братерство своєї нації.
What worries officials in the West is Azov's recruitment strategy. It's tried hard to build friendships with far-right groups around the world, especially in the US and Europe. During my visit in 2019, I spent a day at one of the biggest recruitment events in Azov's history. Thousands of people showed up for a day of fighting sports and blatant propaganda. There were neo-Nazi symbols, tattoos, and posters all over the place. And many in the crowd seemed pretty receptive to Azov's far-right ideology.
Бути толерантним про ЛГБТшникам – це неприродне. Для цього треба людині промити мозки. Поважати своїх батьків, любити своїх дітей і пишатися за свою країну – це нормально.
Events like this also tend to attract recruits from abroad. One of the ones I met was named Robin, who had just arrived in Ukraine from Sweden, where he told me he's wanted for hate crimes.
This is hard to explain the surroundings for someone who's watching this, you know. It's surreal. It's like, I don't know, it's like something you read about the great Germany before, you know, in the 1920s. It's a revival of the Indo-European soul. And it's all happening here in Ukraine.
Afterward, we rode back to the Azov base in northern Kyiv, where Azov commanders had allowed Robin to stay as a potential recruit.
We are Aryans, and we will rise again. That's a way of life, you know. And after the war in Germany, we went back to the benches, school benches. But now we will rise again.
Are they neo-Nazis as an organization? No. Have they had neo-Nazis in their organization? I would say look at the U.S. Army, and you would find neo-Nazis as well.
Dave is an American expat and U.S. military veteran who has volunteered to help Ukraine's National Guard. And he's met a lot of the recruits who'd come to join Azov. You only need one of these guys to kind of go home and commit an act of terrorism to then really damage the reputation of Ukraine in the eyes of the world, right? So that's really a risk that Ukraine faces. Do you think they're taking it seriously enough?
No, yes.
A few weeks later, Robin, the Swede I met at that festival, wrote me that he was going to the front lines to join the fight. With recruits like this, it's little wonder that U.S. officials see Azov as a threat. Experts point out that the pace of white supremacist terrorism has intensified, with new incidents frequently filling the headlines. 22 gunned down at a Walmart in El Paso, Texas, 2 killed near a synagogue in Halle, Germany, 9 more in an attack on 2 shisha bars near Frankfurt, and a series of arrests exposing far-right terror plots across the US and Europe. One tally reported an increase of 320% in such attacks in Western countries between 2014 and 2019.
Я знаю, я вірю, я переконаний, що ми готові до боротьби, що ми готові бути сміливими і сильними, що ми готові перемагати. Бо за нами Україна, а перед нами наша остаточна велика перемога. Слава Україні! Героям слава! Слава нації! Смерть ворогам! Україна! Понад усе! Україна!
Fire and Police Commission's Policies and Standards Committee is meeting tonight. Instead of approving MPD's updated operating procedures related to mental health, the FPC voted to create another task force. Most of the revisions related to updated terminology and clarification, but there were some actual policy changes, like moving patients wanted on criminal charges to a different area at the facilities. None of the commissioners really rejected the SOP. Most said they just wanted more time to review it.
I'm always very excited to see the work being done around mental health issues and concerns within our community. I know that there are many, and how MPD intersects with that world is very important.
The representative from MPD did speak about how policing has changed in recent years because of a heightened focus on mental health. He agreed incarcerating our way out of it, and that's a quote, is an absurd solution that has to go away.
All right, that's the Morning Shift MKE Uncut Hour, man. That's us on Facebook. We done for that part. We're going to get over to the music. Get to this play list that Gotti put together for me. Good looking OG. But I'm going to let it continue to play while I switch off Facebook. Y'all stay with us, man. We're going to be off Facebook, but we always on the website, hittinghardradio.com. So go to hittinghardradio.com. Bookmark it, save it, do whatever your device give you the option to do so that you can tune in all day, every day, each episode, each show. Man, all the programming around here on Hitting Hard Radio. So let's go ahead, switch over, get to this music, man. Y'all stay with me. Once again, it's Friday. What we got for the weather? Let me check it again. You know, I got one of them dumb smartphones. You gotta keep refreshing it. It's 43 degrees. Look like the sun done cracked a little bit. It's gonna dry up. I'm looking out the window, but it's gonna come back. So y'all stay with us. Here we go.
Hip-hop,
play that.
R&B, hip-hop and R&B.
Right here.
HittingHardRadio.com.
It's great radio.
But first to our big story tonight at 10, Milwaukee Public Schools changing its masking policies.
The district is planning to go mask optional starting April 18th. Cassidy Williams live in the newsroom for us with more on what exactly was passed by the board tonight. Cassidy?
Ted, the school board unanimously voted to basically pass over all power for future COVID-19 protocol decisions to the superintendent. What that means for students could depend on which school they go to.
Milwaukee Public Schools continue to require masks for all students and staff, even though last month the CDC loosened mask requirements.
I'm rather conflicted right now. We continue to wear our mask.
Desiree Clark is waiting to pick up her son at Rufus King High School. She's feeling uneasy about taking the masks off.
I'm kind of siding on that maybe we still need to wear the mask until the end of the school year.
Superintendent Keith Posley is recommending making masks optional on April 18th to better follow CDC guidelines.
These decisions are just not made just out of the sky.
And now he won't need the school board's approval to do so. The board voted Thursday to direct the superintendent to consult with the health department and others to make future decisions on COVID-19 policies.
I think that there are experts in this field, and I am not one of them.
Presumably, that means masks will be optional starting April 18th. But Posley says masks could come back for certain schools or the entire district if cases go up. Clark says her son will keep his mask on.
I think right now it's needed. I mean, with the COVID epidemic still in play, we still need to be safe. Our children still need to be safe.
Now, the motion passed tonight by the board did not specifically mention masks. It basically said all COVID-19 protocols will now be decided by the administration. Posley says they are aiming for April 18th so that there are 2 weeks after students return from spring break to watch for a spike in cases. Live in the newsroom, Cassidy Williams, Fox 6 News.
Cassidy, thank you.
Milwaukee, on February 15th, 2022, your vote and voice was unlawfully suppressed.